I born at when I would say they say Oatland, but I lived this so long since I've been 16. They call it Brown Ferry. Something you have to go to be way off from Brown Ferry where I live. We got to cross a creek and everything to get to Brown Ferry. That's another section, but I don't know why the school they put up they got Brown Ferry School. And I am so, that was the school I go to, Oatland, O-T-L-A-N-D, Oatland, you know. So I don't know what all those changes come in at, because we're distant from Brown Ferry. Oh yeah, yes. At a flat, you got to go across in a flat, carry cars and everything over there, over Brown Ferry. All I could remember is when ever any cars or anything come down there, the flat is right between, and they can come over and move that over, or else on the other side bring it over this way. See, because the flat, the person was already there. Oh yeah, that's four. I had six brothers, and it's two, four sisters. Mary Gamble Armstrong, that's my mother. My daddy's name was William Armstrong, Jr. Every kind they could find, I guess. They did that, them milk to them meals and stuff like that. The Atlantic Coast Company is some people would work out like in the logging part, and then they had a big thing here in Georgetown where we worked there. Well, she didn't work. She had a lot of children to take care. I didn't stay with my mother. My mother didn't raise me. My grandparents. She had a lot of kids, and my grandparents, all their children was grown and gone away, so they raised me, my grandparents. So, you know, my grandparents, they farmed cotton and stuff and things like that, but we were children, we didn't do anything. They goes out there and do the farming work. Out in their rule, I don't think we get over 3 months school out there on Brown Ferry. So those teachers out there, the teachers, they probably at that time, when they finished 10th grade, they graduated in 10th grade. So there's the people would come out and teach us, those 10th grade. And some of them probably know much more than we know ourselves. But that's where we should get our teaching. Everybody in the same room. Wherever the teacher in the church that have the school in either the church or like they had a big hall where they had I can't remember what it is, but it was some kind of organization that was there, ladies and men. I can't forget the name of it. And anyway, they had a big hall built out there where they used to have the meeting at. And if we don't have school, church, we have it in that hall, because they didn't have any schoolhouse or nothing like that out there. We used to call it arithmetic. That's what they used to call it, and let me see, I don't remember what they call it now, but then we used to call it English, a language. That's when I was coming up, and yeah, I don't say in arithmetic, yeah. So everybody been in the same place. Everybody studied the same thing. church. Well, like I say, my grandmother raised me, and she was Mount Sinai Baptist Church, and that's where I used to go as a child. We go to Sunday school and things like that. Yeah, we ain't all that far, but we'd walk out and get out there with, they call Brown Ferry now, and the ferry's so far from us, but that church out there, those church, Mount Sinai, Chester Hill, and all them churches out there, it wasn't that far. We ain't on the side of the water, but yet they call out the Brown Ferry. We had to cross the river ferry and everything, the creek and all kind of thing to get to Brown Ferry. I don't know why they named it Brown Ferry, but that's what they do. But when I was coming up here, that was Oatland, O-A-T-L-E-N-D. See, that's where we live. Mm-hmm.
And it's still that way on the map, but they changed the school and the water district.
Everything changed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, all I can remember is we get those doll baby saying Santa Claus brought it, fruit and everything. We hang up a stocking by the chimney. And when we get up, we rush up to see what in our stockings. That's all I can remember that when I was children. I never finished no high school. And then Portland, the teachers, they said the teachers to the fifth and sixth grade. I remember fifth grade is all I remember that they taught me, the fifth grade. So I know they, now advanced high, but when I came up as a child, in fifth grade, and then when you done doing the fifth grade and you get in the sixth grade, they try to teach you, but those teachers didn't know too much more than the children. They send them teachers that just finished 10th grade, because that's all they've been finishing, 10th grade, in the high school in Georgetown. But after I got married when I was 16 years old. Leave them out there, but they got better. Thing out there now than when I came up, my age. The children now is getting better education, better everything, You work at them mills that they had, the Stave Company, ACL, all them mills and things. That's where they work until all those mills going down. I do not raise children. I had 9.
You had 9?
9 children. That's all I do, stay at home and cook and raise children. Until I get up. After my children get up and grown, then I start working to different, like restaurant and stuff like that in cooking, just help cook. But after they get not there. The youngest one, because the youngest child, my youngest one, I would leave. She'd be with somebody take care till either my husband had shift work, and he would be home with the children, and I used to work to the restaurant. Yeah, that's where I first worked at, Gator driving. Right out there on that highway going to Charleston. Vegetable like collard greens, rice, and whatever. But the most thing at that restaurant with meat and stuff, the people come in and order what they want, what kind of meat or what they want, whether they want chicken, whether they want steak or whatever, and whether they put in the order, then you fix it for them. Man, I remember what we do when we were children, because we could get out from home. The people keep strictly count on them children in the house. Yeah, so, but whatever we do, like if we get in the yard and jump rope and stuff and things like that. Well, they to cook, they had to cook what they raised. If they raised collard greens, they had to cook that. If they got turnip or whatever, chicken, this is what they raised, that's what they cook. Yeah, when I came up, my days. Go in the woods and kill squirrel and rabbit and all that. all like that. Then they raise hog, pig, hog, pig, yeah. I remember one store I can remember out to the St. Paul churches. You had to come out from Oakland down in there and go to that store. But I can't remember the name no more. Well, when I was good up science, and they go to school when they have parade and on New Year and things like that, they would bring the children, bring us to Georgetown to see the parade and all like that. The biggest part of the Depression I remember now is after I got married when all them mills and things closed down. But in Depression time, those people out there didn't perish because they farm and raise hog and chicken and all like that. So they live. Yeah, I love fishing it. I love fishing it until right now, I ain't able to walk. But if I could sit there now and throw out a reel, I can fish with the reel now. That time we had cane line. In the country, go get them cane and make the line and put the cord on it and a stop on the cord. And you throw that thing out there, stop and go under the water, a fish got it. Yeah. That's what we had then. We would know nothing about no reel and rod, nothing but a cane line. I had 6 girls and 4 boys, and 2 girls done passed, done gone on, but all the boys that's alive. I had less boys, 4 boys. I sell clothes for the children, and neighbors, they got children, they bring them children, bring the thing, and I sew for them after I got married. Right here, when not this house only, but that little house over there, in a 2-story building. That's where my husband, they raised at. And when I first came to Georgetown, we had a room up there, upstairs, and his father, the hallway, such a big hallway, they had a kerosene stove and everything that they had in there. We do the cooking, and had one room upstairs. Yeah. When I first moved here, it's so many people were living on the street that is going, because all these open lot now, they were houses where people live in. When I came, that right next over there, where all them tree grows up, it was a 2-story house, just like my husband's father's house. They on one side and a 2-story house on the other side. And a lot of people was living here on Hawkins Street. But over there now is nothing but trees. The coastline was the same here then, coastline company. And after the Steve Mill, them were the two things was here when I come. Well, yeah, 'cause a lot of houses, people been living all down there. A lot of houses been down there. When the people come there, they used to, I forgot places where they used to call them, but man, people had houses and everything down there. And then they all down, they clean up all out. Going up in our woods, like they clean up a lot of that, but houses was all down there. I don't know whether what all that belonged to the coastline or what, because they didn't really own their own property. So everything was from back that way. The coastline had it in charge and everything. They have houses and everything. Over there they call the new town. They had houses built, and the people worked it and lived in them all down. They've all been built, but that company had a lot of houses built. Yeah, lately after the coastline going out of business this year, that coastline was making rough lumbers and stuff like that. And they had the box mill, all that been belonged to the coastline. Coastline had their own big store out there on the street. The people used to go and get the clothes, buy clothes. They work for the company, they gotta go and buy the clothes. I can remember a lot of old things, but the new things I can't remember. Because now I remember when World War I, when peace declared on that. I was a child, about 5 or 6 years old. But I can remember that well, because my aunt had all the little children, had a little tin pan and bucket just a knocking and say, peace declare, peace declare. And I can remember like that happened yesterday. And I've been like between 5 and 6 years old. But I can remember long time things, but I can't remember too much right now. I'll have to ask. Joyce will tell me, Mama, you know since you weren't dead. I said, well, I ain't remember when he died. Or World War II. I remember that because my brother had a brother in World War II. I was already married then. I used to walk to the bridge and walk over there so we could look at the slaughter, see how they carry them cow up in there. Cow when they get out on the other side, everything clear, done clean, skinned, and everything. Yeah, I remember that well. Canning factory.
The canning factory?
Yeah, they used to can. Okay. Some of the meat, the cow, that they kill over there. Yes, they had a factory. That I believe that on Taylor, the end of Taylor, that was that right the old company's ACL company's store bin right on that corner. They had some kind of can and stuff down there, but everything changed so now. And they used to when they killed a cow and clean it, they had a factory down there to can up some of the meat. And then men they go down there and ask about the bone, or when they cut the meat off. That Josie, Mice, and all them people done gone home. Yeah, none of them people are alive now when that happened. Oh yeah, man, a lot of people had cow when I got married. I was 16 years old then. My father-in-law had old T model. Call him a T model.
T model Ford. Okay. Model T.
Yeah, something what he used to call him.
Crank it up from the front.
Crank it.
Yes,
put together, right. Yeah, my father's husband had that T model of black one I can remember because he was a preacher. And he used to go to different church in Williamsburg County to preach. a lot of people worked at that paper mill. My husband worked there until he retired before he was gone. I can't remember the company who put out the job working on them hard. We had people working for 65 cents a day. 65 cents. After the Depression. But everything was so cheap. Look at that time they used to sell rice by the quart, and you get 4 quarts of rice for 15 cents. Okay, so they could have lived until thing get up until the international come here. That's when they approved the steel mill. Yeah, I can remember, especially long time things. But anything just happened, I got to ask my daughter, Mama, you remember that? I said, sure. Yeah. Well, how about Sister One? Is she living or dead? So you tell me, Mama, Sister One died. You remember that? But I don't remember. But the long time things come back to me. Because I thank God for what I can remember. I thank Him for that.